Here's why you feel off, but you can't explain it. Because you're out of alignment with your own standards, you sausage. So let me guess. Nothing's quite wrong, but nothing even feels quite right either. Because your job's fine, money's coming in, you're not in like a complete rock bottom crisis moment. So nobody's ever actually worried about you. But yet, you feel irritated for no reason, restless every night. You feel it in here when you're trying to go to sleep, flat when things go quiet, and annoyed at yourself, but you can't explain why. So you keep telling yourself, I should be grateful, I've got so much to be grateful for. But that word should is doing a lot of the heavy lifting right there. It is the truth that you don't want to hear yet. You don't feel off because life's hard. You feel off because you know that you're living out of alignment with your own standards. And the longer you ignore that, the louder that feeling gets. So if this video is already feeling uncomfortable, then good. That means it's aimed at you. And this video is going to help you a lot. So before we go any further, let me say this once, calmly, so you hear it. I help successful men who've lost momentum to eliminate their self-sabotage and become unfuckwithable through simple daily systems. So if this hits at any point, comment the word blueprint or click the link in the description and you can get a free copy of the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, the system that's proven to get your momentum going again and eradicate that self-sabotage. So let's talk about the problem that you can't name because you keep asking the wrong question. You keep asking, why on earth do I feel like this? But the better question to be asking is, what am I not doing that I know that I should be doing? Because this feeling isn't random. It's not anxiety, it's not burnout, it's not a lack of motivation. It's just self-betrayal on repeat because it's small, it's quiet, but it's daily. And it's not dramatic enough to blow your life up completely, but it's just consistent enough to completely erode your self-respect. So you don't wake up thinking, today I'm going to sabotage myself. You wake up thinking, I'll train tomorrow, I'll get locked in on Monday, I'll start properly next week, I'll start this side business next week, I've had a long day, I deserve this break, I'll get back on it when things calm down and I feel a bit more at peace. And every time you say that, something inside of you notices. And you might ignore it, but you notice it. And that's where the feeling off comes from. You know, that off feeling that you can't quite describe. It's that Tuesday night energy that I always talk about. So let's make this painfully ordinary and relatable. It's Tuesday night, nothing dramatic happened today. You finished work, ate something average, sat down, scrolled, maybe had a pint, maybe didn't, but from the outside it looked like every other Tuesday, but from the inside it feels dull, a bit heavy, a bit pointless, because you're not exhausted but you're not excited either. You're just drifting. And here's the part that you avoid naming. You know exactly what would make you feel better, make you feel excited about your life, but you didn't do it. And that's what I call misalignment. Not trauma, not stress, not modern life. It's because you violated your own standard and tried to ignore the consequence. So here, let's talk about the standard that you pretend you don't have. This is where most men lie to themselves, and this is where you lie to yourself. You say you don't have standards anymore. You say that you're just being realistic. You say that life just got busy. But I call bullshit. You absolutely have standards. You just stopped honouring them. You know there's a version of you that trains consistently makes more money every month, keeps his word, doesn't numb himself out every night and every weekend, moves his body, keeps his head clear and doesn't avoid the hard conversations. And here's the most painful part. You still judge yourself by that standard, even if you pretend that you don't. That's why praise doesn't land properly anymore. That's why comfort doesn't satisfy you. And that's why success feels so hollow. Because you're measuring yourself against a standard and a version of you that you keep ghosting and that you keep letting down. And this is why smart, intelligent men feel this worse. This hits smart men harder. Because you can explain why you're avoiding things. You don't say, I'm scared. You say, it's just not the right time. You don't say, I'm avoiding discomfort. You just say to yourself, I'm being strategic, I'm waiting for the right plan. You don't say that I broke my word to myself. You say, I just needed balance, I needed a reset. So you've turned self-sabotage into a well-argued position. And the result is, you don't trust yourself anymore. Not consciously, but subtly. You stop believing your own promises. You stop getting excited about plans. And you stop feeling proud about yourself and then call it depression or anxiety. It's not that. It's misalignment. And this is why nothing external outside of you can fix it. This is why holidays don't fix it. New goals don't fix it. Buying a new car doesn't fix it. New motivation definitely doesn't fix it, because fuck motivation. Because the problem isn't a lack of effort. It's a lack of integrity with yourself. And I don't mean morality, I mean internal consistency with yourself, keeping your word, doing what you said you would do, especially when no one's watching, especially when it's boring, especially when it doesn't get applause. Because until that comes back, nothing feels quite right and you can't work it out. And then it turns into quiet resentment that you carry around with yourself. Because here's the part that you don't admit. You're a bit pissed off with yourself, not angry, not dramatic, not full of rage, just disappointed. So you don't say it out loud, but you feel it when you see somebody else doing exactly what you know you could do, what you should do. You feel it when you lie in bed scrolling through fucking pointless stuff. You feel it when you skip another day of sales calls and of gym. You feel it when you promise yourself that you're going to start again on Monday, and that resentment doesn't go away. It starts to leak into your patience, your relationships, your confidence, your presence. And then you wonder why you feel off. And that just leads me back to this painful truth that I keep saying. And let me say it clearly once more, so I don't have to say it again. You don't feel off because life is hard. You feel off because you're not living in alignment with your standards. So read that again. This isn't about becoming a machine. This isn't about grinding. This is about learning to keep your word to yourself. Because that's the only word that really matters. And that's why you keep resetting in the first place. Every time you feel this tension, you then try to escape it. You reset. New plan, new app, new Monday, new gym clothes, new version of you. Because starting over feels clean and feels exciting. But continuing feels uncomfortable. Continuing means facing the fact that yesterday you chose comfort over progress. And that's why you drift instead of quit completely. Because quitting altogether is honest. At least you're saying, fuck it, I'm not up to the job. But drifting pretends like you're going to lock in one day. So what actually fixes that off feeling, you're probably wondering? It's not motivation, not pressure, but alignment. One kept promise, that's all you need. Not 10, not a perfect day, not a great comeback art. Just one promise to yourself. It could be train for 10 messages. Make those sales calls you've been avoiding. Start that new book you said you were going to do. Go to bed at a normal time instead of staying up at 2 a.m. binge watching. Something small, something you said you'd do, because that self-trust doesn't come from intensity. It comes from reliability. And the moment you do that, something inside you starts to shift. Not dramatically, but quietly. And then you start to feel less off. So this is exactly why this builds an unfuckwithable man. This is where the outcome of what I'm talking about matters. Because a man who keeps his word to himself becomes dangerous in the best way possible. Not loud, not aggressive, not flashy, just unshakable. And that's what becoming unfuckwithable actually means. Not confidence you talk about, confidence you feel within your soul because you've got the receipts of the work that built it. That's what I help men rebuild. Not hype, not a complete personality change, just alignment, structure and self-trust. So if this video is feeling accurate, you've got this far into it, must be hitting a chord with you. Click the link in the description or comment the word blueprint and you'll get the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint, the system that I use with my private clients to get rid of self-sabotage and rebuild that momentum without relying on motivation. No pressure, no sales script, just fucking ruthless raw clarity, because you don't need a new life. You need to stop lying to yourself in all these small ways that actually add up to the big ways. Because you don't feel off because you're broken. You feel off because you know better and you're not acting like it. So once you start to fix that, everything else starts to line up. Not overnight, but honestly. And that's the only kind of progress that truly lasts. So it's your move. I'll see you in the next video. But don't bother clicking on the next video if you're not going to download the Become Unfuckwithable Blueprint. It's free and it will change your life. The link's in the description. Or comment the word blueprint and I'll send it through to you. And if you have got any questions that's super applicable to your own life, click through to my socials and drop me a message. I reply to every single one. Let's fucking have it.